What's up, everyone? I'm the Astro Mama, and here's your weekly AstroWeather Forecast for the week of January 19th to the 25th, 2026. We start off with Monday, the 19th. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Happy Aquarius season. And it's really fascinating to look at his chart. I pulled it up earlier today. It has so many interesting placements that really truly you could see in the way that he lived his life. His sun is in Capricorn and it's super close to his midheaven. And that's a very common placement that you'll see, sun conjunct midheaven on very famous people. Donald Trump has this placement, Lady Gaga has this placement, Barack Obama has this placement, and so many other celebrities and public figures. This can give an energetic or cosmic boost to somebody feeling more confident in their career. And then when we feel more confident in our career, we shine through that. And it also is the kind of energy of people who just captivate the spotlight very naturally. And with it being Aquarius season right now, I feel like we're going to all be kind of moving into that energy as well of how can you shine in a really unique way and trust that who you are is totally enough as you are, and you don't have to mold or shift to whatever is popular right now. His moon was in Pisces, and it also is in the 11th house. It's not quite conjunct Venus, but it's close by where Venus is in his natal chart as well. And this could indicate somebody who really deeply feels in an empathetic, almost spiritual way, the need to liberate or support humanitarian groups and organizations, institutions. It's interesting that he did go to prison because Neptune energy, which rules Pisces, could also sometimes indicate hospitals, institutions. And we've all probably listened to the I Have a Dream speech in school, and the way that he spoke about racial issues and his experiences being a Black man in a segregated country, he had this spiritual, creative tone to his voice. And I think we can see that there. Our moon is where we have emotional fulfillment. He truly loved his work, and he got that emotional fulfillment from serving others in a community way. The 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. Aquarius energy is that humanitarian, innovative, expansive type of energy. He had Taurus in his ascendant. Taurus can be stubborn, but I think they're really just determined. When somebody's Taurus on their ascendant and they're an activist like he was, that gives you like the chutzpah and the grit to be able to withstand some really challenging experiences, trials, and tribulations like he did in his time. Welcome to Aquarius season. Happy birthday to all of the Aquariuses over here. If you're an Aquarius, please comment. I'd love to meet you. I tried to get on like kind of an Aquarian outfit today. I just felt like, I don't know, I just feel like an Aquarius would wear this. So if you're an Aquarius, let me know if I picked a good outfit for today. Thank you for being innovative and different and humanitarian. Thank you for pushing us to question the norm, pushing norms, pushing boundaries so that we can grow and evolve as a society. Between now and February 18th is a really good time to tap into what is really unique and authentic to you. And also, what's a humanitarian cause that you feel really passionate about? And how can you be brave in a way that's also safe to speak up for it? And Aquarius rules the 11th house, which can also do with our community and our friends. And sometimes when you're going through a spiritual awakening journey or a personal growth journey, a fitness journey, whatever that is for you, you find yourself alone. And it can be hard when you're in that liminal space between communities. It's like you have this community that you were rocking with. Maybe it's your friends from high school or college, or it's your friends from when you had young kids and now your kids are older, or it's your friends from when you had kids and now everybody's out of the house. Or maybe it's your old coworkers. And you change and you grow and evolve, and those relationships start to kind of just melt away. And space starts to be created between you and these people, and you find yourself in a period of being really alone. I haven't met anybody who's deeply spiritual yet who hasn't gone through a period of isolation, a period of being alone. And I truly believe that's because God, Spirit, Universe, Source needs to isolate you so that you can get more clear on who you really are, become that person, and then attract a new community that's more aligned with who you have become. It can be really easy to feel like, gosh, I'm so alone, so I should just go back. I should just go back to my friends that like to drink all the time, even though I'm sober. I should go back to my friends who make fun of my sexuality, even though I love who I love, and I feel proud of that. I'm going to go back to my friends who think that being spiritual is dumb or weird because I just want to be alone. Or I'm going to go back to hang out with my friends who all they do is just bitch about other people, whatever that is, right? And you're like, oh gosh, like, can we seriously like talk about literally anything else? But I want to challenge you, if you're in that experience, or even if it's just with dating and relationships where you end up with dating people who are very mid for you because you don't want to be alone, be alone. And be with the discomfort of that, but also be with the excitement, the hope, and the joy of aligning with a new community, aligning with a new lover, aligning with, something that is more authentic to who you really are. Venus is also conjunct Pluto today. This can bring a feeling of intensity to our love lives. This could indicate sometimes power struggles between partners specifically, but also just between you and somebody you hold dear to your heart. It could indicate getting triggered or defensive in connections with others, or also being really passionate, almost wanting to merge souls with your partner, wanting to get so close to them that you just melt into them. There's a creator I follow on Instagram. I can't remember her name, but she's hysterical with her husband. They made this reel of like how when he expresses his love to her, he's like cleaning something. And when she expresses her love to him, she's like trying to crawl into his skin. Like she's like holding him and she's like almost like biting him. And it's so funny because I don't know, I have that experience with my husband sometimes. Oh, you're so cute. I just want to like eat your nose. And not like actually, but just, I don't know, like there's this feeling of like wanting to be so close to you. Like you literally can't get close enough. Like we could be hugging and I'm like, I literally want to get closer and closer and closer, but I can't because this is as close as we can get. So you might be feeling something like that today. Also with Venus conjunct Pluto, be mindful of feeling possessive over partners or friends or whatever it is that's coming to your mind right now. We all have that thing that our brain likes to ruminate on when we're bored or because our brain's trying to keep us safe. Think about if you're ruminating on, what if my partner cheats on me? And what if I never find love? And what if somebody is more beautiful than me or more aligned for my partner? Think about, well, what if the opposite? What if my partner is really my soulmate? What if my partner loves me so much that it doesn't matter if another person around me is attractive because they have all their energy and focus on me? What about my partner can look at somebody on the street and think that they're hot and still love me and think I'm hot and not want to leave me for them? We see on Instagram all this dating advice. It's just so isolating and weird and alone, where people are like, if he looks at somebody while he's with you, or she looks at somebody while she's with you, then they don't respect you or whatever. Gender is relevant for you. And it's like, not necessarily. Sometimes people are just hot. If your partner goes up to somebody and hits on them or asks them out or makes out with them or grabs them, yeah, at that point, that would be considered cheating. That might be a red flag. But if your partner just looks at somebody who's attractive for a brief moment on the street, no, that's fine. We are humans after all. I saw another video from a creator on Instagram who is a psychologist, and he said that one of the more popular dating advice out there that's floating around is that men will treat you the best they ever will at the beginning of the relationship. But he argues that that's not true in a healthy relationship, because in a healthy relationship, you'd have a slow burn. First, you start off as friends or casually dating, and then the more you get to know each other, the more each person dives in. And the more that somebody's invested in something, the more that they'll give to you. And the more that they give to you, you give to them, and it becomes a full-blown relationship over time. When you see Instagram videos like that or TikTok videos like that can make you feel anxious or paranoid when it comes to love or your relationship, pause, slow down, breathe, and explore, what is it about this that is so triggering to me? Sometimes it's past experiences, and other times it's just fear that you lose that person. But on the other side of that fear of losing that person is the knowing that you love them so much that you don't want to lose them. And that could be a beautiful way to look at it today. Another thing that could be happening with Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and finances, conjunct Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, transformation, is your values could be changing. What you value could be changing. And sometimes we learn that through contrast of maybe you had a week or two of the last couple of weeks, especially with all that Chiron energy in the air of overworking, or maybe you got sick, or maybe you were invited to a birthday party or something. And you realize through these moments of being sad or disappointed or stressed out, what it is you really value. Go where your mind wanders the most And where is your mind wandering? What do you value? Do you find yourself at work just thinking over and over again about your best friends and how you miss them, or your kids and how you miss them, or your partner and how you miss them, or just going to the gym and being alone in a sauna because you miss that? And maybe you're spending all your time with your friends, your partner, your kids, and you're thinking, gosh, I miss that daydream I had about being an astrologer, or I miss that daydream I had about being a personal fitness instructor or something. Maybe I've always wanted to travel and it's just getting further and further away from me. And I'm realizing now that I'm in my 30s, I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 50s, I'm in my 60s, I'm in my 70s, and I haven't gone yet. This could be a time to just get clear without judgment of yourself. What are my values? What is it that I deeply value? And maybe just pick 3 to 5 things. I value commitment. I value integrity. I value love, joy, whatever. And start to ask yourself throughout the day, are the choices that I'm making and the ways that I'm spending my time aligned with those values? There are some sextiles going on in the air right now. I don't always talk about sextiles. Just in my training, we didn't really focus on them, but it's kind of like a soft flow of harmonious energy. Venus is making a sextile to Lilith right now. So I feel like this connects to that energy we were just discussing around connecting to your primal emotions, your raw, real, vulnerable self. Maybe the parts of you that you hide, maybe the parts of you that you don't think are worthy, and understand that that's where your eroticism is. That's actually where your power is. And that could be where you've been conditioned to think that that's bad, but it's actually where you can really grow and evolve by tapping into that primal essence of you. The sun is also making a sextile to Neptune today, so you could be feeling creative, dreamy, like your head is in the clouds. This is a great day to make art or poetry or go outside in nature and meditate or connect in whatever way you like to. You also could be receiving some quick downloads, epiphanies, aha moments. The sun is making a sextile to Uranus as well right now. There could also be some sweet surprises with sun sextile Uranus. Uranus isn't always so bad. I think Uranus gets a bad rep. Sometimes Uranus can shock us, electrocute us, and surprise us in a good way. So I'd be open to something like that happening. The lightning bolts on the Tower card are not always bad. Sometimes what it is falling is something that we've been clinging on so tight to that's not supportive for us, and it ends up being a beautiful thing when it crumbles. Welcome to Tuesday, January 20th. Mercury, the planet of communication, our neighbors, wit, sometimes media. I feel like media could be a 3rd, 9th, or 11th house. It's almost like the speed that we process information, our learning style, as well as siblings and people in our community, our immediate community, and short-term travel.
Hey everyone, quick editor's note. I accidentally said that Mercury was going into Capricorn when I filmed this, but Mercury is moving out of the slow-moving, methodical, structured, strategic sign of Capricorn into the flowy, innovative, community-oriented sign of Aquarius. And I want you to think about bringing an open mind, an open heart, and a unique, more innovative style to those mercurial topics that we just spoke about. Mercury will be in Aquarius for a hot minute, so we will have more time to talk about this, but for now, let's get back to the podcast.
The moon also enters Pisces today, so you might be feeling spiritual and dreamy and mystical. And we can use that energy to have a download for what it is that you're building, what seeds it is that you're planting. You could also be feeling empathetic or emotionally connected, maybe even sensitive or psychic. People with Pisces moons tend to be pretty psychic, pretty intuitive, so you could be also experiencing that right now. And Mercury will be making a sextile to Neptune, making this a beautiful day to channel, to write poetry, to make music, and to communicate about these spiritual, creative, or artistic ideas that are coming into your awareness today. It's a new day of me recording this. I lost my hair clip. It tried to eat my hair yesterday, so no hair clip for the rest of this video. Rest in peace. I will say my bangs were slaying yesterday, so I'm a little sad. We are now on Wednesday, January 21st. The sun in Aquarius is conjunct Mercury in Aquarius today, and this is a really great day to do anything that requires your brain, your intellect, your wit even, something in your neighborhood community with your siblings or short-term travel, because chances are your brain's feeling very on it today. And deep feelers, creatives, and mystics, I find that our energy tends to be more cyclical, whereas you'll have a couple weeks, a couple months, maybe in a couple years of being on fire and just so connected and so clear. And then you'll have a period of needing to rest, needing to integrate the cocoon, the death portal, fill in the blank. Capitalize on your energy when it's there and really listen to that calling of your heart when it's time to retreat. It can be hard because you probably have so many creative ideas floating around. It can be really hard to focus on what it is that is most important. So I invite you to have somewhere where you're always writing ideas down. I use the notes app on my phone. I have so many notes, and I have one that just says content ideas. And every time I get an idea, every time I get an epiphany, I write it down. Throughout all of Aquarius season, with Venus in Aquarius, Mercury in Aquarius, the Sun in Aquarius, we are really being invited into this portal of being weird. And by weird, I mean innovative and expansive, focused on social issues, humanitarian issues, connected to your friends and community. We were never meant to live our human life alone. COVID quarantine shaped a generation of people to be more isolated, to be more alone, to cancel more plans more often, to do self-care. And I've been that person too. Don't abandon yourself. But the cost of community is inconvenience. So we've all over-sacrificed for friendships in the past. Now we're a little bit scared, a little bit cautious, a little bit jaded. But sometimes community is feeling a little shitty because you didn't sleep well last night and showing up to your friend's birthday party, or showing up to your friend's event even though you really want to lay home and watch Netflix because you're about to get your period. This energy is alive in the air right now, especially when we're redefining and reconnecting to our values this week. Ask yourself, do I value community? Valuing community means showing up when you don't want to, and showing up for others in the way that you want them to show up for you. So that way it can be a two-way mirror, it can be a two-way street, it can be an equal energetic exchange. And it's a good time to share your weird ideas with others in a mercurial way as well. Right. Welcome to Thursday, January 22nd. Mercury is conjunct Pluto today in the sign of Aquarius. There could be on a collective level some secret revealed or some conspiracy proven true, and not in a scary way. I don't want to instill fear, but more so in a way that reveals maybe something you already know in your gut, or that we all already kind of know. It's an unspoken thing that everybody knows, that we're just waiting for maybe a minority of people in the world to see it. And it's really hard when we are presented with a dark underbelly of something for the first time. That's why when you're going through a spiritual awakening, it's so common to go through a dark night of the soul. Or maybe you've healed from religious trauma and you're leaving a church, or you are leaving a political party or something. Or you're separating from the conditioning of your family and going out into the world and seeing something new. In a more extreme way, I'm thinking about people who are Amish, who grow up in that community and then they go and decide if they want to be part of it or not. The contrast of being in this world that is so different than the world that they were raised in can be really jarring, whether or not they choose to go back to that world or to start a new life. We can't really heal things until we get to the bottom of them. That's why holistic doctors and practitioners, they focus on the root cause, something I really value their line of work, because they can look at you and see, okay, you have XYZ issue, here's the root cause. I worked with somebody, she was an Ayurvedic coach from India, and she looked at me and said, okay, your left eye is switching a lot. You're getting a lot of UTIs, your acne is crazy, and you're bloated. So I need you to get off of all of your supplements, stop eating dairy and gluten, and see how you feel. And I literally felt completely better. And it's funny because some of those things I've started doing again, this was years ago, and I'm starting to get those symptoms again. So they can look at you and they can say, okay, you have all these symptoms that feel so different from each other, but there is this underlying cause that brings it all together, because our body is a mechanism of multiple moving parts that all work together. And our life is a mechanism of multiple moving parts that all work together. And the world is a mechanism of multiple moving parts working together. When one or two or three of those parts within the whole are being corrupt or hiding secrets or being toxic or scary or dangerous, it does affect every other mechanism. Well, what was done in the dark comes to light. I want to empower us all to stay grounded. And I want to empower you to have a curiosity. Instead of fear of how could I have been manipulated, how could I have been controlled to believe otherwise, instead of fear of the media conditioning and propaganda and all of that, lean into curiosity around, how interesting is it that this information is being revealed right now? What comes up for me when I learn it? In what ways are my beliefs changing in accordance to my values? In what ways can I utilize this information to do good in the world, to support survivors, to support people who have been victims of whatever it is that comes up, and to speak consciously for change and for growth and for something better. Also, with Mercury conjunct Pluto, in a more personal way, your words are spells. And we want to be cautious of watching what we are saying. It is so challenging to do this, especially if you run anxious or depressed, because it's easy to get into this rumination cycle of, well, I have this shitty thought and that thought is bad, so I need to make a new thought, but I keep thinking this other thought because it's an automatic thought in my brain because that's the trauma I've been through. And over and over again, take shame out of it. And every single time that toxic thought comes up, check it and create something new instead. Over time, your thoughts will change, but it's going to take some time. Our brain is so smart, so genius, and it is always trying to find evidence for what it thinks. If you believe something, you will find evidence that it's true. With the world of social media, I think a reason why I'm stepping back a little bit when it comes to like not doing my dailies anymore and stuff like that is because you can go online and you can Google something, for example, how much water does ChatGPT use? Clean water does it use to make an AI generated picture? And if you have been searching activism content around bringing more sustainability to AI, you'll get evidence to support that it uses a lot of water and that here are ways to combat that. If you feel it's the most eco-friendly thing available and that's what your search history says, then it's going to show you evidence that it's not harmful. Isn't that fascinating? Yeah, truth is always somewhere in the middle. Same thing with diet and exercise. You know, it's interesting that this reverse food pyramid thing is trending right now. The United States changed the food pyramid. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing, but everybody has such differing opinions. There's some people who think it's a really great thing and people should be eating more meat and more dairy and more fat, and they're just so happy that what worked for their body is now being promoted. And then there's other dietitians that I've seen on the internet say that that's not healthy depending on what your underlying health conditions are. And for some people, eating a lot of red meat and dairy and fat is actually really dangerous and it can spike their cholesterol. There's no absolute truth. I know you rephrase that. The only absolute truth that I really feel like on this earth, my little list is love exists. We are all meant to live with each other. All living creatures are meant to be in harmony with each other. And we all chose to incarnate in this life. Those are my 4 beliefs. I am the guru of the world, so write them down. But that's what I personally think is true. And everything else is really just up to debate. It's all subject. And Mercury also makes a sextile to Lilith today. The information that's being revealed right now could be activating some more tender and primal parts of you, maybe even past wounding. I just want to send love to you. If that's something that's happening for you, please receive support in a way that you need right now. Nourish yourself. It's okay to log off for a day or 2 and then come back. I also think too, sometimes our biggest wounding as deep feelers, creatives, and mystics is more so around expressing our unique thoughts. And today, with all this cosmic energy in the air, you could be feeling inspired to share something unique or individual. But maybe you share it and your aunt Tina comments on it and says that you're wrong or bad, or maybe a family member gets offended. And then it can spark what I believe is to be true, which is the witch wound. Many indigenous cultures had witches. And they were really just medicine people and guides and healers and leaders in their communities. And when colonialism happened, the colonizers thought that anything that was different than what they did was bad. And they started assigning labels to witches and they started burning them at the stake. Many of us have past lives of that, or we just have past lives of being in that environment and remembering that fear in our DNA. And it makes it hard to say the thing that you really want to say because you're scared of being persecuted in some way. But we have to work with where we are and share the thing. The more we share it, even if we do get canceled, we can do that and work on our nervous system to feel safe and to expand our capacity to hold everything. And then we can align with service and say, but this is really important to get out because there's somebody who really needs to hear this. And I'm going to dial in my focus to that person who is watching or listening or reading it that really needs to hear it. That's who I'm focused on. I don't need to focus on all these other people with their different opinions. If Aunt Tina doesn't like what I'm doing, who cares? She's not my ideal client. She's not somebody I want to work with. And I don't actually have an Aunt Tina, but just for example, if she doesn't like it, it's not meant for her to see. She's just not meant to receive it. She can unfollow me. on Facebook or whatever. Mars is sextile Neptune today. When you are processing this information, these emotions, it's not the best day to go into combat with somebody around it, just because we don't have all the information yet. So remember what I was saying about the truth is usually somewhere in the middle of the two extremes that we're presented with. It takes time to discover what that actually is. We want to be cautious of going and attacking somebody when we don't know all the information. We just want to be aware and receive. And then when it comes together, we can decide how we want to support the solution in a productive way. Welcome to Friday, January 3rd. Mars is now in Aquarius. This shifts our focus from being more slow and methodical, calculated, productive when Mars was in Capricorn, to focusing and shifting your energy towards community, humanitarian issues, innovation, maybe technology, and teaming up with people for social issues. I don't believe that we all need to be experts in every single issue that's going on in the world right now. If that was true, you would drive yourself nuts. Pick one or two issues going on in your local or international community that you really care about. And then be fearless in advocating for them. I'm saying that too because the sun is conjunct Pluto today, and you could be feeling a little sensitive right now. It's hard when the world feels like it's on fire and then you're going through your own inner fire, your own inner transformation. And with Sun conjunct Pluto, you're rewiring, redefining, revamping, rebranding who you are, your personality, your persona, your personal brand. A productive way to do that is to check and see, are my actions aligned with what I value? If I value freedom of expression, am I expressing myself freely? If I value family, am I spending time with my family? Write this down. I want you to think about what really is you, what is not you, what is a comfort zone, what is a challenge that you need to take on to grow, and what is something that just literally isn't aligned with you. For example, social media for me right now is not really aligned for me. I like YouTube. I like going deeper, so I'm going to keep doing this. But when it comes to YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels or Instagram posts, I'm going to sit with how I want to move forward when it comes to sharing content. What is something I know I need to do as an astrologer that I don't always do because it's uncomfortable is networking more in person. I feel the most connected to my gifts and in sovereignty and in power when I'm working with somebody one-on-one or when I'm teaching in a group and holding space in a group, not necessarily when I'm making content. But in order for me to have a successful practice with that, and the more successful my practice is, the more I can have offerings at different income levels and support more people at once. I need to go out into the world and be like, hey guys, I'm an astrologer. Here's what I do. And I feel scared about that. I feel scared about that because I'm not really a professional person when it comes to outer appearances. I want to create a world where professionalism is more about your expertise and how good you are at what you do and how you leave people feeling when they leave you. I'm not good at the pomp and circumstance kind of thing. But tough titties, I have to go do that because it's where I'm going to grow and where I'm going to evolve and where Saturn could be chiseling me. For you, think about, okay, so in what ways is what I'm doing just not aligned with me? And you'll feel it. It feels like a weight. It feels heavy. It feels icky. If you start to maybe feel depressed or more anxious or have more health issues, that's how you know this is not for me. Versus what is something that you might think about for an hour beforehand and you're like, I don't want to go, but I do want to go. I don't want to go. And then you force yourself out the door and you come back home and you're a different person. You feel better. You feel proud of yourself for trying something new. That's what I want you to focus on right now with your rebrand and with your redirection. This is all backed up with the moon being in Aries today. This is going to give us that bravery, that courage, maybe even the physical fortitude to go full steam ahead when it comes to rewiring, redefining, and rebranding who you are. I always say that this is also a good day where if you feel triggered or anxious, go sweat, get into a bath, get into a sauna, do a hard workout, breathe, then come back. It's popular on social media to say, heal your nervous system through resting and relaxing and the gua sha and all that. But that can be healing at first, especially if you're really dysregulated. But if you never leave your cave, then you're just going to get dysregulated every time you leave. Part of that healing experience for your nervous system is actually going out into the world and challenging yourself, connecting with other people, doing things that are different, getting a hard workout in. We got to honor our inner chi, our inner yang energy too, not just the yin and the part that is cozy, but also sometimes isolating and distortion. Speaking of something that could be uncomfortable, welcome to Saturday, January 24th. The moon is square Jupiter today. And when this happens, you could be feeling a little bogged down, a little sluggish, a little foggy, emotionally heavy today or somewhat restricted, especially when it comes to your inner world, your emotions. This week, we had all this energy around a rebrand and a renewal and a rebirth, but also revelations of things that have been really scary or toxic or this dark underbelly of society. Anxiety comes when we are living in the future, and then depression comes when we are living in the past. But life is experienced in the present. Practice that muscle today. What do I feel right now about what's happening right now? Not what could happen, not what could potentially occur, not what has happened in the past, but how do I feel about what is currently going on? And how can I work within the restrictions of that? Process those feelings, alchemize those feelings so I can create a different future for myself. Just know this, if you're on a track or running a marathon or something, you can't finish the race without running the race, right? You can't get to the finish line without running. And in order to really run well, you're in pretty much of a flow state. You're not really focused on the crowd or the audience. You're not really focused on the person. Maybe you are focused more if you're a very competitive person, if you're an Aries, but most of the time you're not focused on the people next to you. You're just breathing and you're running. And when you breathe and you run, you finish the race. So bring that analogy into your life today. So we're ending the week on a cozy note. Welcome to Sunday, January 25th. The moon is in Taurus today. This brings a really nourishing, nurturing energy into the cosmos. This is a great day to cook a nice meal by yourself or with a loved one, to wrap yourself up in a blanket, to get snuggly, read your favorite book, get a massage. This is a great day to ground, breathe, and tend to your nervous system, maybe in a more chill way, more yin way, like we mentioned earlier, the opposite of that Aries moon energy. And this is a good day to let everything settle. Let's do a little physics lesson. You have a spring between your fingers. When you push the spring down, you're compressing it. It is increasing what's called potential energy. That potential energy is going to stay the same until you lift your finger up and the spring bounces. Now that potential energy turns into kinetic energy or momentum. This week you could have been going like this, pressing on your spring, you're chiseling yourself, you're redefining yourself, you're figuring out who you are, you're fighting for a good cause. We're working, output. We're stuck here. Today's the day to lift that finger off. Go inward, retreat, fill up your cup so that potential energy can turn into momentum. That was your AstroWeather forecast for the week. I'm the Astro Mama. I bring the cosmos down to earth to ground deep feelers, creatives, and mystics. I offer personal readings. You can book with me. The link is below, as well as a free beginner's guide to astrology for any of you who are just starting out and you're looking to simply get your feet wet. That's a great free resource I have for you. I hope you all have a magical, mystical week. I'll see you next week, and I'm sending you so much love. Bye.